Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy RJ Game News USA here, back today with another video. And today I'm going to be doing the ultimate tier list for video game franchises. Now, I looked it up on Wikipedia. There's about 712 qualifying video game franchises on here that we could talk about. I will not talk about all of them. I don't want this video to be 7 hours long. But we will stop on the ones that I at least have some experience with. And we will give this a ranking between S, A, B, C, D, or F on this ultimate tier list. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Please support by subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Without further ado, we're going to go alphabetical here, skipping mini games, but we're going to do the franchises we care about. And I won't talk in detail about every single one of them either. But we're going to kick this off with Animal Crossing, which I'm going to put into the D tier as far as my interest level goes. This is just not my style of game, and you're going to hear that a lot when I put something in the D tier category. F tier has to be something I truly despise, and I don't despise Animal Crossing, but it literally does nothing for me. And then we will move on to the Astrobot franchise, which I'm going to go ahead and put that in the B tier. They've had two games, Astro's Playroom and Astrobot. Both games were very fun, but it being just two games, it could explode to a higher tier with a third great release. But that's where I'm going to cap that one. And that's going to actually be the end of the A's, believe it or not. We go on to the B's. We got Bayonetta. I did put this in my all-time trilogies list. I'm going to have to give this an A tier, though. It just falls short of an S tier. We had that weird other Bayonetta game that came out that's part of the franchise that I cannot say that, hey, that was a good release because I didn't love it at all. But the trilogy is really well done. Now, the first game I don't like as much as 2 or 3, but I think A tier is about right for Bayonetta. BioShock. I'm going to stick BioShock here in the B tier. I think every game was pretty solid. I didn't like fall in love over it like some people did, but I think it had a pretty solid trilogy of games. And then we're moving on to Borderlands. Borderlands I'm putting in the B tier as well. It's getting kind of crowded in the B tier there already. But with Borderlands, again, I really love 1 and 2. 3 was okay. The pre-sequel was fine. You got to think about Tales from the Borderlands also. Very solid series. I didn't buy Borderlands 4, though. Let's remember this. I completely passed on Borderlands 4 and didn't give two shits. There is no A-tier franchise or higher that could be true for me. So it's the B tier, and I passed on Borderlands 4, totally. So what does that tell you? I didn't have enough interest, which even surprised me. They say you played one Borderlands game, you've played them all, right? What else we got here? See, not as familiar with some of these series. We'll go on to the C's. Call of Duty. I'm going to go ahead and stick Call of Duty into the A tier. A very complicated reason as to why. There are a ton of Call of Duty games that have come out that I have completely passed on. And I know I just said with Borderlands, if it's an A-tier game, A-tier series, you wouldn't pass on it. Yes, but Call of Duty is the exception here. It's the exception to the rule. They release every year. You know what I mean? They release every single year. And when I think of the Call of Duties in the past that I put hundreds, if not thousands of hours into, that's got to bump this up to the A tier. They may have B game releases or C game releases or releases I skip, but it's A tier. And I'm getting back on the Call of Duty bandwagon with Modern Warfare 4. I expect it to be an A game. So we're feeling positive about Call of Duty right now. Going on to Castlevania. Castlevania, I'm sticking in the B tier. I am getting the new Castlevania this year. There's a whole bunch of Castlevania games in the past that were decent. I think B tier is about right for that one. Alright. So we're going to move on. Or we're still on the C tier, I should say. Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot, welcome to the already crowded B tier. It's a good platformer. It's not a great platformer. I kind of passed on Crash Bandicoot 4. But, Crash is definitely a good platformer for sure. Alright, we'll move on to the D's. And in the D's... Well, I can't believe this isn't listed in the D's, but I just thought about it. I don't know why this isn't listed. But the Darksiders franchise is definitely B tier for me. Darksiders 2 being my favorite. Dead Rising franchise, I'm putting in the C tier. I think that belongs there. Devil May Cry. We're sticking that one in the B tier. I think it's really fun. It's a good action game. The Dishonored franchise. I'll be honest. Dishonored's going to be in the C tier here. Dishonored's in the C tier. Then we have Donkey Kong. Here we go. This is a good one. Does Donkey Kong belong in the A tier or the S tier? I'm going to say A tier. We haven't put anything in the S tier yet. It's a high bar to get S tier. It's A tier. It's damn near S tier, but it's A tier. All 5 Donkey Kong Country games are fantastic, and Donkey Kong Bonanza is fantastic as well. There are a lot of releases there that muck it up, right? Like if I were to just do my favorite 6 Call of Duty releases, it would also be S tier. And my favorite 6 Donkey Kong releases would also be S tier. But there's a lot of okay games in there, Donkey Kong Lands and stuff. There's, that Donkey Kong versus Mario series, the original OG Donkey Kong. None of those games are on the level of the 5 country games plus Bonanza. Donkey Kong 64 is certainly not very good after having revisited that recently. So I think Donkey Kong is in the A tier for me. Doom, we're sticking in the B tier. Very similar to Borderlands. I passed on the newest Doom release when it came out. I could have bought it and I just didn't. Maybe I just wasn't buying a whole lot of games last year. I'm buying more games this year. I don't know. But Doom doesn't always do it for me. Now, and some of the past Dooms are really fun to play. I have a whole stream of Doom, a whole bunch of Doom games in a playlist on the channel. But yeah, Doom is going to be sticking in the B tier. Dragon Ball Z games. Dragon Ball Z games are going in the B tier. I know the B tier is fucking crowded, guys. I know. But, Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime. I wish I could say it was A tier or even S tier. But Dragon Ball Z Sagas gets shit on a lot, but I like it. The Tenkaichi series is good. Xenoverse is good. I really enjoyed Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That's probably my favorite Dragon Ball game. Sparking Zero, you know, we played that on stream and that was fun. Fighters is good. Like, these are all really solid entries into the series. There is a lot of dog shit too, but still, I believe B tier is the proper place for this series. Alright, let's move on. The Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem's going to go into the D tier. They're kind of doofball shooters. I did get, like, Duke Nukem on PS3 has a Christmas gift once and kind of enjoyed it from a friend. Alright, we're on to the E's. Earthbound. Earthbound's going in the C tier. You know, there's Earthbound Beginnings, that's really Mother 1 and 2. And Mother 3's never been released in the West. If it was, maybe the franchise would go up some. But, you know, the big game in the franchise, Earthbound itself, is a good RPG, but there are ones that I think are much better than it. So I think E tier is the correct spot. I do not see Elder Scrolls listed for some reason. It's weird. There's 712 franchises here. How do we not list Elder Scrolls? But it just came to my mind. Elder Scrolls. I'm sticking Elder Scrolls in the C tier. I know, right? That's shocking. Shocking to say. A lot of people would have this A tier, S tier, and maybe you're thinking I'd stick it in B tier. Every time I try Elder Scrolls, I just don't get very far in them. I just don't attach to them like I do other RPGs. I want to. The medieval setting, you know, I just think it gets kind of complicated with the systems here and there sometimes. And that brings me right to the F tier. With the F tier, I'm going to go straight to Fallout series while we're talking about Bethesda. Fallout's the same deal, C tier. You know, I really want to love these games, especially because I love Starfield so much. And I'm the odd one out that likes Starfield better than any Elder Scrolls or Fallout game. I know I'm the odd one out, but, you know, very similar systems. Feels very archaic to go back to in some ways. I still really want a new Fallout and the new Elder Scrolls at some point soon. And I would be excited to pick it up and really give a new one a chance. But I have a harder time going back to those old ones and, like, actually beating them. Like, I can go back and play some of them. Like, I played Fallout 4. I played some Fallout 3 in New Vegas. I played some Elder Scrolls 3, 4, and 5. You know, I've done Elder Scrolls Online. I've tried Fallout 76. You know, it isn't through a lack of effort. It's just never clicked with me. They belong in C tier to me. But since we are on to the Fs, we got F-Zero. Especially after revisiting a bunch of F-Zero games, I would have put this in the B tier, but to be completely honest with you, F-Zero's getting put in the A tier. To be completely honest, I think it is to what Donkey Kong is to Mario, F-Zero is to Mario Kart. It may be the second best racing franchise that is a arcade racer. So, like, you know, I really enjoy almost every single F-Zero game I played. Like, I really thought it was fun as hell when I played those games. This is on F-Zero Day on the channel. So I gotta give mad props here to F-Zero. And speaking of racing games, while we're in the Fs, I'm gonna talk about the Forza series. That also is A tier as well for me. If it was just Forza Horizon, I might go S tier. But the whole Forza series, I'm going to say A tier for sure. Really love those racing games as well. Alright, so that's about the first 200 franchises. I skipped a lot of them because either I didn't play them or don't have an opinion. But since we're in the Fs, let's continue. We got FIFA, the soccer series. I'm going to stick that in the C tier. By the way, keep in mind, nothing's been in F tier yet. Okay? Nothing's been in S tier yet. Those are the extremes, right? FIFA's going into C tier. I think it's a competent game. I think if I liked soccer more, I would enjoy it. I feel like it gets very repetitive after a while. Although there is a ton of countries and clubs to choose from, which is exciting. I think that is having hundreds of teams and international teams. It would be exciting. If soccer was my favorite sport, I could see why FIFA would be like my Madden. You know what I mean? But we have Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is getting stuck in the B tier. I'm currently playing through Final Fantasy 16. Again, Final Fantasy 16, I got it because of PlayStation Plus. I never went out and bought it. I never went out of my way to go get Final Fantasy 7 Remake. So again, I can't really say this is freaking A tier when I don't go out and buy it. It's a Borderlands situation or Bioshock situation. I'm not really going out of my way to go buy these games, but I play them when they're presented in front of me, and some of them are better than others. And that is very true with the Final Fantasy series. And so, like, there's other RPGs I like better than Final Fantasy, like Clair Obscur, right? I think Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is better than any Final Fantasy I've ever played. So, like, I have Final Fantasy at the B tier. I think that's fair. B tier is very crowded right now, I gotta say. And then, okay, we will talk about this one. Frogger, I'm going to stick it in the C tier. I'm not going to give no explanation further than that. For what it's doing, I think it's C tier. We're on to the G's. Gears of War. This is going to be interesting. Gears of War, we're going to stick that in the B tier. Every single Gears game I've ever played is pretty rock solid. Even Judgment. Gears E-Day, I probably would pick it up even though October is a very crowded month. Well, I wouldn't have to worry about picking it up. If I had an Xbox, I would have Game Pass anyway. But it's an exclusive. I somewhat miss that I don't get to have it, to be completely honest. But I don't miss it as much as Forza. And if I have Forza at the A tier, I can't put Gears any higher than the B tier. So that's where I have Gears. Ghosts and Goblins? That game's fucking brutal. That franchise is fucking brutal. Put that in the F tier. It's too fucking hard. And by the way, I didn't notice this when I scrolled through either. While we're talking about Battletoads, stick Battletoads in there too. Just for being too fucking hard. I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek, but still. Gran Turismo. Stick that in the D tier. It's one of the most overrated racing series there ever has been, in my opinion. It's always been about graphics. D tier. Grand Theft Auto. And this is what's going to make some of you guys' head explode. I'm only putting this in A tier. Don't forget how GTA started before 3 as well. That counts. I don't think the OG GTA games before 3 were even that good. A lot of people started with 3. So let's talk about that. 3, Vice City, 4, 5. All these games, I swear to God, I've never beat a single Grand Theft Auto campaign. Alright? They're just chaos. Chaos games. And I love them. By God, I love them, but they can't be any higher than A tier for me. Now, to be completely fair, if GTA 6 blows my socks off, which I kind of expect it will, I could easily bump it up to S tier. Easily. It's on A tier right now for me. Alright, we'll move on to H. The Half-Life franchise. C tier. C tier for Half-Life. Hellblade. This is where people are going to get mad at me. It's fucking F tier. There's a reason Ninja Theory is probably shutting down. I got Hellblade 2, and it was fucking awful, to be quite frank. It was absolutely fucking awful. And, you know, even the one that they broke out on, that first Hellblade, it was interesting to a point with the audio, and then I was like, man, this is making me hear voices in my head. I hate this shit. I hate it. I'm sorry. I have no interest in the new Hellblade game. It's F tier for me. Hitman. I'm going to put the Hitman franchise in C tier. Love what that studio was able to do with the James Bond games, which we'll go ahead and talk about them now. 007 games. 007 games, for me, I'm sticking in the A tier, actually. 007 games, because I'm thinking GoldenEye 007, which at the time was really amazing. Going back to it's kind of hard. But the multiplayer, Friday night, Mountain Dew, Doritos, Pizza Hut with friends, playing GoldenEye, and then the Wii remake. I love that game. I love playing it was basically playing the GoldenEye 007 campaign, but with Wii controls, and it worked really well. And then this 007 First Light is a fantastic game. In fact, as of the time of this recording, halfway through this year, 007 First Light is my game of the year. I think that'll change. It better change with some of these releases coming out the rest of the year. But I think 007 First Light is my favorite game of the first half of 2026. So 007 games get A tier. Hollow Knight. We've had two games, Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong. Gotta say C tier here. Sorry, I just don't like it as much as you probably. Then we had the Horizon series. And this is where all you PlayStation fanboys are gonna click off on the video. But I didn't like it. It's a D tier. Sorry. I have D tier level interest for this. I mean, even when it came out to PlayStation Plus and I had a chance to retry it, I went along to retry it and I'm like, just don't care. I don't know if it's the fact I don't care about the main character or what. Or there's too many cutscenes or what's going on here. I don't like it. I don't like Horizon series. And I know it's PlayStation's most popular series of all time somehow. Don't care. D is for don't care. F is for fucking hate, right? C is for commonly average. B is for better than average. A is for an excellent game. And S is Super Special Super Saiyan Sonic Forces, right? Anyway, moving on. Again, this is my own personal taste. This is not an indictment on sales or anything else. We'll move on to the eyes. Is there anything I want to talk about in the eyes? The Injustice franchise has a fighting... I'm going to say C tier for this too. It's got a nice little campaign like Injustice 2 did. It's a nice little fighting game. It's decent. It's average. Move on to the J's. Jak and Daxter. We'll stick them in C tier as well. And I mean, there's reason for that too. There's going to be other franchises on here from Naughty Dog. And I'm thinking, is this better than Crash? No. Is it better than Last of Us? No. Is it better than Uncharted? No. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden you realize Jak and Daxter's like the worst franchise from Naughty Dog, which is still better than a lot of franchises. But I'm going to give that the C treatment. We'll move on to the K's. Killer Instinct. Actually, to be honest, Killer Instinct, I'm going to give it a B tier. It's a good fighting game. The classic one was, and actually the Xbox One, Killer Instinct, is a super underrated game. I really think it's actually really cool. I really think it can really hold its own against some of the other bigger fighting franchises that we'll get into later. Alright, then we have... See, I won't do something like Kingdom Come series. I haven't played it at all. Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is an A franchise. Kingdom Hearts 3 is my favorite of the bunch. But, you know, the Disney characters mixed with Sora, the storyline they tell, the combat, the action. Yeah, I think this is an A-tier franchise. And so that would mean I like Kingdom Hearts more than Final Fantasy. And I think that would be possibly true. Am I more excited for a Kingdom Hearts 4 than a Final Fantasy 17? Maybe. Depends what the games look like, right? Shockingly enough. I am more excited for Kingdom Hearts 4 than I am Final Fantasy Resonance, for example. Then we had the Kirby series. I did say Donkey Kong was to Mario what F-Zero is to Mario Kart. I did say Forza was also A tier, and that also is to Mario Kart what Kirby is to Mario. Kirby's also A tier. Kirby is also A tier. I have a hard time deciding between Kirby and Donkey Kong what's my second favorite platformer outside of Mario. I do. Ultimately, I think Donkey Kong might edge it, but they're both A tier. You know, they're both interchangeable. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I think it's my favorite from the series. And it's got a handful of excellent games, like freaking Return to Dreamland, Kirby Adventure, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Dreamland 1 and 2. You know, these are 9.5s as far as games go. They never quite had the 10s that Donkey Kong does. You know, Kirby Planet Robobot won Game of the Year in 2016 for me. I'm going to say A tier here for Kirby. And that's it for the Ks. So we'll move on to the Ls. Left 4 Dead franchise. I'm going to give this a C tier. It's completely dependent if I have friends around to play. Because if there's friends around to play, this is an A tier game. Out a doubt. While playing it. With even some S tier moments. But they're not always around. So, what are you going to do? It's so dependent on people, I feel, in the room. The old ones were. That can be true for a lot of games, but that one in particular, for sure. The Legend of Zelda. We finally have it. An S tier franchise. Has dropped off at the door. Legend of Zelda is our first S-tier franchise almost half an hour into this video. And need I say more? Need I say more? Look at the 3D games alone. Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Ocarina of Time. These are revered by some players as the greatest of all time. Majora's Mask. You have excellent 2D ones like A Link Between Worlds, A Link to the Past, the OG Zelda, right? Even some of their duds like Zelda 2 are fine games. You know? There's an audience out there for Oracle of Ages and Seasons. You know, it's a pinnacle franchise. It's an S-tier franchise, no doubt. Then we have the Lego franchise. The Lego franchise, I'm going to give that a C tier. It's very up and down. I really enjoyed Lego City Undercover back in the day on the Wii U. And then the other Lego games have been okay. Actually, Lego Horizon was my favorite Horizon game too. Just saying. How about the Life is Strange franchise? I'm going to give this A tier. I'm going to give it A tier. The Life is Strange franchise is freaking great. Like, every time a new one comes out, it's a must-buy. I gotta be honest, Life is Strange Reunion, though, was not an A game. It was like a C game. It was a little bit of a disappointment, a little bit of a dud. But, you know, the first Life is Strange is legendary. Double Exposure, I like that a lot. I really enjoyed 3, even though it didn't center around Max. Life is Strange 2 that didn't center around Max and had the two brothers was great. Yeah, Double Exposure bringing Max back. The Double Exposure is way better than people give credit for. Yeah, Life is Strange franchise. We've had, 5 entries, and they've all been pretty solid. Yeah, that's A tier right there. Definitely. All right. Luigi's Mansion. We're gonna stick Luigi's Mansion in the A tier. I had to debate this one between A or B. Ultimately, it's A tier. The first Luigi's Mansion game was fun. It might still be my favorite. It's on the GameCube NSO service. Most people love Luigi's Mansion 3, even more than I do. But I enjoyed that as well. Some people give Luigi's Mansion 2 or Dark Moon, they shit on that a little bit. I loved it. So I love 2 a little more than the average person. I love 3 a little less than the average person. It evens out. And of course, I think very highly of 1. So it's a good trilogy. It almost made my top trilogies of all time list. Didn't quite get there, but it's A tier, if you ask me. Or on to the M's. We have the Mario games. Super Mario, right? So we gotta talk about, this whole block's gonna be dedicated to Mario. Mainline, regular ass Mario games, S tier. It's our second S tier franchise. It's fucking S tier. Everything from Mario 64 to Super Mario World, to Super Mario Bros. 3, to Mario Odyssey, to Mario Wonder. 2D and 3D platforming games. S tier, for sure. That goes without a doubt. But what if I told you there's more to that than that? There's also Mario Kart. That's S tier. There's not a bad Mario Kart game. Not a single bad Mario Kart game that's a mainline Mario. I'm not talking about Tour or whatever. Or the house game or whatever. The ones that are actually on consoles and handhelds. There's not a single bad Mario Kart game. Even Super Circuit, it's a lesser of an entry. It's not a bad Mario Kart game. 64, 8 Deluxe, Mario Kart World, all excellent. Double Dash, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart's as S tier as S tier can be. So that's our third S tier game. And then that also brings up the Mario sports games are A tier. Everything from golf to soccer to tennis to basketball even. Mario Party. Mario Party, I'm also going to stick in the A tier. They've had some misses here and there. But Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 would have probably put that in video game trilogies. My favorite video game trilogies. Except it didn't have really a story that through-lined them all together at all. And it felt weird putting that in a trilogy list, even though it is honestly one of the best trilogies in gaming history. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. 4, 5, and 6 are good. 7's good. 8's pretty good. 9 and 10 lose their way a little bit. Superstars is excellent. I have a lot of good things to say about Mario Party. But it's like A+, but I can't quite stick it in the S tier with some of the misses. But yeah, Mario, love it, man. Mario as a whole is an S tier. Like, if you were to force the whole thing together, the Mario Party, the Mario Kart, all of it together, even the bad releases, it's still S tier. So yeah, we got 2 extra S tier games added on after that with Mario, the Super Mario series, and Mario Kart. So we have 3 total S tier games. And then we move on to Marvel's Spider-Man, which I'm giving A tier to. The first game's okay. Miles Morales is fine. Spider-Man 2 is fucking amazing. So this is A tier. Like, this is like, they came out with a Spider-Man 3. It's a day one buy for me, without question. It's A tier. Alright. Then we got Mass Effect. Only one of the best trilogies of all time. It was also in my trilogies list as well. It made the cut. It's A tier. You know, you have Andromeda in there too, which does sink the series some, but I do like Andromeda more than the average person. I will say that. I do like Andromeda more than the average person who shits on it. So Mass Effect to me is A tier with potential to go S tier depending what they do with Mass Effect 4. Then we got Mega Man. And we're going to go ahead and include all of Mega Man. To me, Mega Man is B tier. Because I don't think it's as good. It is a platformer, you know, sort of, right? In addition to fighting bosses and stuff. But Mega Man's not better to me than a Kirby or a Donkey Kong, which is A tier. So to me, the proper place for Mega Man is B tier. It's a very solid B tier. There's some really classic games in there for the Mega Man series. There's some duds in there too. But for the most part, I would say B tier would be the correct spot. So we're 400 franchises in. We'll go to the next page. I don't know why this wasn't listed. I almost forgot about it. I don't know why some of these are not listed. But Madden is an A tier franchise. I get it almost yearly. Some years are better than others. It's almost S tier. I don't think it could do anything to move up or down at this point. It's just Madden. So I have Madden at A tier. And that brings up the college football series as well. College football is A tier for me as well. Both football games. I alternate them between each year. They're A tier games. I enjoy them. And since we're in the M's, we'll talk about MLB The Show as well. MLB The Show is going to go to B tier because it does have good moments. It's not as good as Madden, though. And since we are talking sports, we might as well get the other sports games out of the way. The NHL series, we're sticking in C tier. The NBA 2K series, we're sticking in C tier as well. You know, right alongside where FIFA was. And WWE 2K series is also going in C tier. So we're packing up C tier with some of these sports and wrestling games. All right, continuing with the M's. We got Metal Gear Solid franchise, which I'm going to go ahead and stick in the C tier. Monster Hunter is also going to the C tier. Mortal Kombat. We're going to stick Mortal Kombat in the B tier right alongside Killer Instinct as far as a fighting game goes. I think it is better than Killer Instinct, but I wouldn't say it's A tier. I need another good release or two to move it up. What else we got? Oh, there's Myst. The series Myst. You can stick that shit right in F tier. I don't like those style of games. I tried it and hated it. And there'll be a lot of games I didn't try that never had a chance to go in F tier because I avoided the series. Just letting you know. Now we're on to the ends. Naruto games, we're going to put those in the C tier. NFL Blitz. Forgot about NFL Blitz. NFL Blitz it's in the A tier. I know it's on the same level as Madden. Madden is better though, but I miss NFL Blitz being like, we're going to be the doofy game. We're going to be the goofball game. We're going to be like crazy and wacky and insane, and I miss NFL Blitz so much, and the absence makes the heart grow fonder, so therefore this is probably a B-level game I'm sticking in the A tier. The No More Heroes franchise, we're going to stick that in C tier. C tier is starting to get more crowded than B tier. We're on to the O's. I got nothing to say about the O's. I do see Onimusha in there. I don't have an opinion, though. So we'll move on to the P's. How about PGA Tour 2K? I do enjoy the PGA golf games. And I do like them more than like playing hockey or basketball. But not as much as Madden, so I'll stick it in B tier there, right alongside baseball, for my interest level. Phantasy Star, going to the C tier. It's Temu Final Fantasy, in my opinion. No offense. Pokemon. Will it be the 4th S tier franchise? No. It's not. It's A tier. A tier for Pokemon. By the way, where the fuck was Halo? Either we passed over Halo or they didn't have it listed here. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about Halo for a second. Halo, I'm sticking in S tier. It is the 4th franchise that's in S tier. It probably is the only Xbox franchise that's going to be in S tier. Call of Duty technically is an Xbox franchise, but it's an A tier. Forza's an A tier. I didn't see Fable listed. Fable's B tier. I don't know why some of this stuff isn't listed. But Halo's S tier. One of my favorite trilogies of all time. And by the way, I don't hate 4 or 5 or Infinite like the rest of the fan base seems to. I like those games. I actually like those games. I think 5 is the weakest of them. But even 5 is good. Okay, in my opinion. Yeah, I didn't like you played most of the campaign as Agent Locke. Didn't like it. I thought the multiplayer was pretty bland. Okay, compared to the other Halos, though. And I love Halo Infinite way more than the average person. I played that game over 200 hours. Right? Halo's S tier. Completely fucking S tier. I'm losing my mind over Campaign Evolved right now. I'm wondering if it's actually the best remake of the year. Even over Ocarina of Time. So Halo becomes our 4th S tier franchise. Moving on. We got Pikmin. Pikmin, I'm sticking in the C tier. This is one of those franchises that from Nintendo that's on the lower end, probably, for me. Pikmin 4, I didn't go out and buy it. Pikmin 3 was the best in the series, but even the best in the series didn't do too much for me. It was a good release. Pikmin 1 and 2 are solid games. Planet Side franchise, that's D tier. Those long queue waits for that, I don't know. Don't have a lot to say about that one. All right. Prince of Persia, we're going to stick in the C tier. I liked the new game a lot, and the old ones I think are a little overrated. We're on to past the Q's. We're on to the R's. Rampage. That was a fun series. I'm going to put Rampage in the B tier. Ratchet and Clank. You know what? I've really enjoyed the Ratchet and Clank games. I'm really debating between A tier, B tier, A tier, B tier on this. A tier, barely. I'm going to give it A tier for Ratchet and Clank. If I'm giving Ratchet and Clank A tier, then I'm putting Rayman, who's next, in A tier also. But Rayman's better. Okay, Rayman's better than Ratchet and Clank. I don't think Rayman's better than Donkey Kong or Kirby. But I do think Rayman Legends itself is better than any game that Kirby's ever put out, in my opinion. Yeah, Rayman and Ratchet and Clank are both A tier. I'm putting Rhythm Heaven in F tier just because I fuck them. I don't have a better reason. A lot of these games I could stick in F tier just because fuck them, right? Saints Row. Saints Row, we're going to stick that in the C tier. And by the way, we know another franchise they didn't mention. I don't know why we're missing so many franchises. I don't know how we're missing so many franchises. Because there's some PlayStation ones I want to talk about. God of War? Anybody? God of War not listed on here? Or I missed it somehow? But God of War, we're going to stick that in the A tier. Infamous, we're going to stick that in the B tier. And so Saints Row's in the C tier. Jesus, man. I don't wonder how many franchises we've missed. Shin Megami Tensei, we're putting that in the C tier. Silent Hill is also joining the crowded C tier, which should be where a lot of games go. It's average. Sly Cooper, we're sticking that in the D tier. It's a pretty franchise for the most part. Sniper Elite, I fucking hate that franchise when I played it. I'm putting that in the F tier. Alright, so Sonic the Hedgehog. It's A tier. So again, we got like 5 platformers in the A tier. But nothing touches Mario. You know, but we got Sonic, Rayman, Ratchet and Clank, Donkey Kong, and Kirby all in the A tier. And I think that sounds right when it comes to platformers. I put Mega Man in the B tier. Soul Calibur. We're going to stick that in the B tier. That's right alongside Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct for fighting games. But there is a fighting game franchise better than that. Street Fighter. Street Fighter's going to the A tier. But there is a fighting franchise better than that. Better than that. And it is our 5th franchise that goes in the S tier. Super Smash Bros. Absolutely. Love this franchise. The OG game was pretty good on the N64. Melee was my favorite GameCube game. Smash Brawl was freaking awesome. Put more time in that than anything. Hold on a minute. So, big on Smash Bros. I love Ultimate. I love Super Smash Bros. 4 Wii U, 4 3DS. Those are great games. They never missed. Like Mario Kart, they've never missed. They're S tier. Let's see. Splatoon. I'm going to put Splatoon in the C tier. And I understand a lot of you like that more than that. but I cannot go any higher than that. Splatoon Raiders is coming out in July, and I could care less. So therefore, it's a C-tier game franchise for me. Splatoon 3, 2, barely played it. Splatoon 1 is probably where I spent a majority of my time on Splatoon and enjoyed the concept, and I didn't need to see it again. Some of you love Splatoon, begging for Splatoon 4. And that brings me to Spyro, which Spyro I'm going to stick in the A tier. I think it is better than Crash Bandicoot. But yeah, I'm going to stick Spyro in the A tier. When I think of PS1, I think of Spyro before Crash. Star Fox. Star Fox is going in the B tier with the potential of very shortly bumping up to A tier, depending how the new Star Fox game goes. Star Wars video games are going in the B tier as well. State of Decay franchise, we're going to stick that in the D tier. And, is that it? No, that can't be it. Oh, okay, hold on. Anyway, let's continue. We're on the T's, and we're going to see Taken here. Taken, the fighting series. We're going to put that in the C tier. I don't think it's quite as good as Mortal Kombat. So that's my justification. Titanfall franchise. Hear me out. This is A tier. It's fucking A tier. I mean, we're talking only 2 games. But I love Titanfall 1 more than the average person. And Titanfall 2 was great. They had a great campaign and a great multiplayer. I'd love a Titanfall 3. I would absolutely love a Titanfall 3. I probably would be more excited for a Titanfall 3 than any other shooter that could come out. I mean, no, I don't know. Titanfall 3, Modern Warfare 4, or a Halo 7. Titanfall 3 is in that kind of category for me. I would fucking love it. Let's talk Splitgate. I didn't notice Splitgate being on here. Splitgate, for me, is A tier as well. It's very on the level with Titanfall. As far as, like, hey, I'd be excited if they announced another new Splitgate. I'd play it. It's good as a free-to-play game. I have 41 streams of Splitgate on my channel. Obviously, I love Splitgate. There's not really a campaign to speak of. I would love if maybe they go for a campaign next time. I don't know. But yeah, love the Splitgate series as well. That's A tier. All the Tom Clancy games, stick those in C tier for me. Nothing really in the U's I want to talk about. Alright, let's talk about the V's here. We got one for the V's I want to talk about. Viewtiful Joe. Viewtiful Joe had a couple of really good games on the GameCube. I would stick Viewtiful Joe in the B tier. Now we're on to the W's. The Walking Dead games. The Walking Dead games are A tier for sure. The interactive story games of Walking Dead, that's A tier. And I feel the same way about The Wolf Among Us, which isn't listed. And a lot of those Telltale games. The Wario series, like Wario Land, WarioWare, all that stuff, we're going to stick that in D tier, actually. Like, I think they're one of the worst of the they're one of the worst platformers, to be completely honest. And actually, since we're talking about platformers, Yoshi games are going to the C tier. They're better than the Wario games, but I think the best Yoshi game is still the Super Nintendo one, which was the first in the series. Everything else is still not as good as that. And then we have the Wii series, like Wii Play and Wii Sports and Wii Music and Wii Sports Resort. All of those, you know. And I'll even include Nintendo Switch Sports and all that stuff. All that junk, right? Stick that in the B tier. Wii Fit and all that, right? Then we have, I think this will actually be the last game we talk about, Xenoblade. This is very difficult for me. Is the Xenoblade series S tier? Fuck, man. Let's review what's S tier so far. Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda, Smash Bros, Halo. I believe that's it. High bar to get S tier. Very fucking hard to get S tier. Xenoblade is going in the S tier. It's an S tier franchise. I know I like 1 and 3 more than 2 or X. But the expectation, it's just like, to me, a new Xenoblade at this point, it's just like releasing a brand new Halo if we got it, or a brand new Mario Kart, or a brand new Smash, or a brand new Zelda. It's that excitement level. And so it has to be S tier. And there is one more game franchise, I don't know, I forgot about it, or I didn't see it in there. Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is A tier as well. And Fire Emblem is very close to S tier themselves. Dead ass. Dead serious. Like Fire Emblem and Donkey Kong, they're A pluses, right? They're almost there. Fire Emblem may be the closest that's A tier that can't get into S tier, right? Like, Halo's like low S tier. Fire Emblem is high A tier. And they could flip one day. PlayStation has no S tier franchises, in my opinion. That's sad but true. But they do have franchises that are good. Like, you know, the Spider-Man stuff is very close to S tier. Another big release will do it for me, right? The Astrobot, close. It's getting there. God of War. I know it sounds ridiculous to ask, well, I need another great God of War game to make sure it's S tier. But with the trilogy coming out and the Fae coming out, those are good games. It becomes S tier for sure, in my mind. So, again, that's my list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you actually made it this far, let me know in the comments below. But until next time, this is your boy RJ signing out. Have a good one.